I'm Trey Abfill, Executive Director of the State Bar of Texas. AI is changing the practice of law, but what does that mean for you? We know you have questions, and that's why we're launching Ask a Human, a Q&A session exploring AI. This is your chance to join a live one-hour discussion with AI experts who are ready to answer whatever's on your mind, no matter how basic or advanced, from emerging practice trends to using AI safely in your firm. This series is built to give you real answers in a welcome and open format. No jargon, no judgment, just an open environment where you can ask anything you want. Don't miss this opportunity to be a part of the conversation shaping the future of law.
Hello everyone, welcome to the first ever Ask a Human Q&A session by the Law Practice Management Committee. I'm Alex Sharastani. I'm a practicing attorney based in Austin, Texas.
My name is Patrick Wright. Welcome. Super happy to be here. I'll turn it over to you, Alex.
This is going to be a relatively huge webinar. We're going to do a number of pre-submitted questions. We're going to do a short demo, and we're going to do some live questions as well before we wrap up. Trish, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Trish McAllister. I'm the staff attorney for the Law Practice Management Department. We just started this Ask a Human Q&A sessions really to give folks an opportunity to ask any question they want at all about AI, because we know there's so many questions out there and people just don't really have enough opportunity to ask anything they want. So literally, this is just an opportunity for you guys to do that. We received, and hopefully kind of a fireside chat, welcoming a sort of atmosphere. And we received a ton of questions from you guys, so we're really excited about that, over 100 of them. So we're going to start by answering some of the questions that you guys have submitted. Then we're going to do a short demo on ChatGPT, because there are obviously people who have never used it before, and we just want to kind of give people a lay of the land. Okay, so let's get started. This was my personal favorite. Mainly, I don't want to get in trouble.
It's an excellent question.
Yeah, go ahead, Alex.
Yeah, okay. So I think the root of this problem comes from, and again, we're speaking on our own behalf. This is not on behalf of the bar or any sort of committee. This is our personal, knowledge coming to bear on the topic. A lot of the problem comes from how guidance has been issued around the topic of AI. A lot of the ethics opinions don't actually give you instructions on what you can do. It's more saying, hey, don't violate the ethical rules, which I think everybody is already aware of. But then there's this sort of like black box of knowledge of like, what can I do with AI? What can't I do with AI? And I think at root, where we get to is basically that all the standard ethical rules are in place. So this isn't going to be super in depth. It's just going to be a little intro, because I know this question comes up a lot, and I'm going to show it to you right now. So in your ChatGPT interface, I have a paid account. It's a Teams account, so it's going to look very minorly different from like a traditional paid account, but it's more or less the same. So on the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to have like a little profile icon. You're going to click on that and go to Settings. And here you're going to see Data Controls. Click on that, and you're going to see Improve the Model for Everyone. And you're going to want to make sure that that's toggled to off. For the business mode, it automatically disables training, but it is a toggle that you can choose within the paid version, and I believe even within the free version. Patrick, have you checked that lately?
I haven't checked the free version because I have the paid version, but
Yeah.
I can toggle mine off and it's always off. So
Yeah. Yeah. So it retains that setting. If you don't find the setting in a free version of ChatGPT, that means it's improving the model with your content.
Today we have our expert, Cassie Burns, to answer your questions.
I am Cassie Burns, an attorney based in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
So the first question is, how do I get started with AI?
Start with low risk types of uses of generative AI. So when I started testing out generative AI, it was in my free time on things that captured my personal interest, because I just wanted to see how those tools worked a little bit differently from how I've been using AI in my practice.
Today's episode focuses on ethics, and we're delighted to have Shauna Willing, Chief Disciplinary Counsel of the State Bar of Texas, and Brad Johnson, Executive Director of the Texas Center for Legal Ethics, here to answer all the ethics questions that were submitted to the Ask a Human webinar we had back in November. Let's dive right in with the first question. Could you tell us what, if any, are the requirements for disclosure to clients and others that the practitioner is using AI?
That's a great question, Trish. And I think the question is both about disclosure to clients and to others. And I may take it in the reverse order and start with talking about disclosure to others, if that's all right. In terms of possible disclosure requirements to others, what initially comes to mind for me is, if a lawyer's practicing before a court or filing something with a court, I think initially the lawyer really needs to know, are there any orders or rules that, would require disclosure that they are using AI in what they're filing or otherwise. And that might be just a general disclosure requirement or, a certificate that has to be filed. But really, it's going to be on the lawyer to know, kind of a case-by-case, court-by-court determination. Is there anything that I need to, I'm obligated to disclose regarding AI use?
I might just add one thing that we'll talk a little bit more later on this, but I do think that lawyers are going to begin to have to disclose their use of AI in their practice to their malpractice area. I think that the risks that are associated with the use, or certainly the improper use.
Welcome, everyone, to the second Ask a Human AI webinar, and for joining us today on everyone's favorite day, Tax Day. I'm Trish McAllister, the State Bar's Law Practice Management Attorney, and I will be your moderator today. So, Patrick and Alex, what's been happening on the AI front since we last gathered in November?
We're sort of in the land of agents, and I think 2026 is going to be the agentic year for that. More people are becoming mainstream. Gallup just came out with their survey that said that, more than half of employees are using on a day-to-day basis. Doesn't seem to be increasing productivity a lot.
I think the connection of external tools into AI is really a big productivity booster. And as Patrick said, productivity measurement might not quite be there, but I have thoughts on that too. So generally speaking, AI itself has moved forward. The profession has moved forward incrementally. And we're starting to see more of the interwoven issues concerning the practice of law come up with AI as well. So issues with ethics, privilege, confidentiality, sanctions for attorneys who are misusing AI. So I think we're kind of on that bell curve of adoption. We're past that nascent stage and we're on the upswing into mainstream adoption.
How can I verify citations or content that AI produced?
If you look at most of the use cases for these products, one of the number one ways was legal research. And so I certainly understand why that would be on the list of questions to ask, and certainly a concern. I hate to say this, but, a good way to do it is just go to Lexis or Westlaw and actually read the case and look at it. There are some products out there. Describe Review is a very new one, probably like in the past 2 weeks. And they purport to claim that you can put your brief in there and run it, and it'll verify citations and also verify content. Benchly is another one. It's BENCHLY.com. It's another product that it'll check content and sites. And then SiteCheck.ai is another one that you can use to check your citations. And then if you just want to see if something is AI generated, there's a product called Panagram, and Panagram has a legal section to it that they've built out that you could check for briefs and stuff too. So those are just a couple of names.
I think part of why this question even comes up is because, all of you are attorneys, you know how to read the law, but I think there's like this element of it's a new process and you know how to do your process, but this almost feels like you're doing a whole new skill set. And so it can feel intimidating. But Patrick's right. It really is just checking your citations. Now, the way that I handle this, and this is like sort of a practical, you can try this out kind of thing. Basically, whenever I have something drafted, I tell the AI to list out every single citation and the claim associated with the citation within the document. So I feed the whole document in, and it'll list out every citation with the little snippet that is a part of the claim. And then if you're comfortable with this, you can have the AI actually go and retrieve links for each of those citations. And then you can ask it to check if that citation is actually in there. And then you can ask it to provide a link to that particular section. So what my final outlook looks like is I have a little spreadsheet of all the citations, and I'm able to go through one by one and click and check what it says there, where it is in the document, make sure it's not like the dissent or something. And you're able to go through that way in a sort of systematic way, and it can be part of your workflow in a way. And I found that to be a really useful pathway forward.
If you have further questions about AI, feel free to send your questions to me directly at trish.mcallister@texasbar.com. Alex and Patrick, they're happy to chat with folks as well. So thank you so much for coming, and we hope you have a great week. All right. Thanks,
Thank you,
Alex
Trish, for everything you do.
It was fun as usual.